This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
Good evening. I'd like to call the October meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners to order. My name is Dave Mons. I chair the commission. To my left is Vice Chairman Larry Lazaroff, and to my far left is our Secretary Robin Wilson. To my right is Commissioner Calafiore, and to my far right is Commissioner Alden Mead. So may I have a motion to approve the minutes for the September 24th meeting, both the regular and executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion, any corrections, changes? All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to approve the monthly reports for September of 2019?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Robin, correspondence?
Yes, we have a few things. One is from the family of Walter Gorwich, who passed recently, and thanking the police department for their participation as pallbearers and being part of the service. And they were very, very grateful for that. We also have another expression of sympathy from another family in town where, again, the police participated. We have a letter from the Wilton Police Department thanking the chief for the services of Lieutenant Matt Falcon for participating as an oral board member for the examining of candidates for sergeant level applicants. And then we have a last correspondent that is from the neighborhood in the Blue Hills area, and they are looking for a four-way stop sign to be put in. There is a two-way right now. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Robin.
So if I may just comment on that, is it appropriate to comment on that now or later on?
I'm sure.
Okay. So I have gone over to that area and met with some of the residents, and I've seen a problem over there with traffic and speed. And so I encourage the department to do the study. Hopefully that will take care of this. And I'm also in support, even though I'm not a traffic study expert, of a four-way stop sign in that area.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the next step there, and we can talk about it later if necessary, would be to have the department do the typical traffic study at that intersection. Chairman's report, just a couple quick things. Earlier this month, the chief and I attended the quarterly police retirement board meeting. There's really absolutely nothing to report from that meeting. As many of you have probably seen, the contractors are working here at the headquarters on the outstanding punch list items from the recommissioning. And the only other thing I have there's it's really not part of a report. It's more of a discussion item for the chief and the deputy. I think there's been some concerns voiced by the commission members that the new solar speed signs don't have the posted speed right on the sign. So those traveling can make a quick sort of decision that, oh, my speed, even though the speed sign is flashing with the light, my speed is above the posted speed limit. So I don't know if there's anything that can be done to modify or retrofit those signs so those in the travel lanes can see very obviously I'm over the speed limit, I'm at the speed limit, or under the speed limit.
Right. Because we did bring it up and it was part of my traffic report, but we can jump to that now. You know, I know we said we would look into it. Unfortunately, the models that we have of these solar speed monitors, traffic counters, we don't have a mode that would give that you could put in what the posted speed is. So basically the screen is blank until it picks up a moving target, okay, and then what it does is it tracks the moving target, gives it a speed, and then once it exceeds the speed limit, it flashes.
So flashing means excessive.
Right. And that's normal with most of them. If it's flashing for a reason, it's telling you you're over.
So if it's under, it's not gonna tell you what your speed is?
No, it will. It'll tell you that you're doing 29, 28, 29, 28, and then all of a sudden, if you're in a 30 zone and you're doing 35, it's gonna be flashing.
But it won't, it'll tell you your speed, but it just won't flash.
Correct. So
I see.
if you're within the parameters,
Yeah, it'll
Then-
tell you your speed.
then it'll tell you your speed, and you're gonna be able to see what it is. One of the things that we looked at was, wherever any of these things are erected right now, there's a speed sign on that street within like a block or two of where we have these solar panels. What I did was, just to show you what we have, I took a couple pictures of what it looks like, and you can certainly look at it. The standard size speed limit sign is 30 by 12, and you can pretty much see that the 30-inch speed sign, you can just take a quick look and pass it down. The 30-inch speed sign is not going to fit in between the monitor and the solar panel itself. There's only anywhere from 14, say, to 16 or 17 inches in between. All right? The only way that you would be able to do anything would be to put it down below. I don't know if you want to do that, because if somebody's driving, they're going to be looking up there and they're going to see it. I think you're going to be causing more of a distraction if you cause them to look down. And then one of the other things I noticed is on Ridge Road, you already have somebody starting to put leaves at the base of it. And in a couple months, you're probably going to have snow at the base of it, so you're going to have that blocked anyway.
I don't think the base of it is an option, but I honestly have not seen one that didn't have the posted
Right.
speed on
Me
it.
neither.
Yeah.
And, yes, it's posted, like I was going up and down Spring
Right.
Road when it was up there.
Right.
You don't remember, I mean, if you drive up and down enough, you don't even notice those speed signs.
Right.
So when you get to that, you want to say, ooh, what am I supposed to be doing
Right.
before?
Right.
And is there some way that we can fix that? Because they
Well, you
really
can-
should have been bought that way.
Well, no, that's what was purchased. I mean, we're fortunate. Actually, I'm very appreciative of Mr. Frieda. He was able to get us the funding to grab 4 of these. I think they're very good. I mean, if you want, we can go put a speed sign, in
Right
front of
next-
it.
Right next to it.
But
Well,
again, what you're gonna do is, these things are not permanent.
I know.
These are gonna be moved around. We've looked at even getting customized signs, but they would be so small. They would be basically a 12-inch or 14-inch sign. By the time you were on top of it, it's too late anyway.
So to backtrack a little bit, were there other options for these signs? I mean, was there like a catalog, and then you chose?
Yeah, these are things that, we have a similar product with the battery operated
Right,
ones.
right. Those are old, though.
So what we did was we stayed with the same brand,
Mhm.
so our reports would basically be the same.
But they
And-
didn't have an option.
Well, not for what the money that we had and the number that we wanted to get. This is what you had. I mean, if you wanted to go and spend, $3,000 or $4,000 more,
How much were they each?
I think they were, what,
10?
50, what were they?
55?
$5,000, $5,500 a piece. So, I mean, it would have been several $1,000s more.
Yeah, we were gonna keep them for many
Yeah,
years.
I mean, I
Yeah,
just
but-
wish we had an option, versus sitting here talking about this now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think what, and again, we're not using this for enforcement either. We're
It's
using.
just to slow down.
Right, number one, we're looking for traffic counts, we're looking for, we're looking to collect data to find out where is the best place for us to deploy radar. And again, to warn people. I mean, if you like, we can put a stop sign in front of it, but, you know, I think that's, or not a stop sign, but a speed sign in front of it.
So, a lot of companies, when you purchase something, you have a window for changing your mind and getting a different one. Is that an option in this
No,
case?
That's
Like
not gonna be an option. These things are purchased, they've been put into the field. I really think that for what the purpose is of what we intend to use them for, I think they're fine. I really do. I think they're perfect. We're getting good data, you know, and that's the key
Yeah,
here.
I mean, data collection is obviously essential, but I think the informing the public of what they're doing versus what they're supposed to be doing is
Well,
also
you
very
know what I can
important.
do
But
is,
I don't know what to do now.
You know what I could do is take the speed sign that's on that street and move it closer to that particular sign.
Yeah, but you're moving them, you said, so you know they're rotating,
Right.
so what good is that gonna do in the long run?
Well,
So,
Well,
they're gonna probably be where they are
For a while.
at least 6 months.
Okay,
so then, yeah, why don't we just do that? Just,
No?
it's a quick, easy fix. We just put
Yeah.
a speed limit sign in front or behind, whatever, in
And what
close
we've also
proximity.
done, speaking of those, is that we're identifying places right now where we can also move it later in the event that we have either December, January, February becomes an issue. We already have some, what we call shoes in the ground. All right, so we can go and we can move it. Once the ground gets hard, you're locked out.
right.
Move what, the actual
The
speed?
Right,
sign,
because
yeah.
this thing, it's a 9-foot structure.
Right,
And it's got two channel, what do you call them? U-channel bars that are 8 foot tall.
right,
You know, they're bolted to something that's already in the ground, probably 18 inches anyway.
right.
All right, so these things take that 8 foot U-channel. Now you put the antenna or the solar panel on the top. It's 9 feet tall.
So if they're
You
gonna.
can't really extend that any
It has
further.
to go below.
But here's the other thing too, and we gotta remember, we're putting these structures in front of somebody's home. And I think what we wanna do is we wanna kind of minimize or not make it too intrusive to their place. If somebody put one of these things in front of my house, I'd be like, what the cripe are you putting it in front of my house for? So if you notice, some of them, we've put with like a utility, near a utility pole, if we can. Number one, it takes away from not putting it in front of your house.
Right, right.
The
The one
second
on
thing is,
Spring Road is
it
pretty-
gives us some added security, so if somebody's driving down the street, they're not gonna try to hit it. They're not gonna try to damage it, we're not gonna have vandalism, you know, that kind of thing, so.
Is the speed limit on most of our streets the same? Is it all 30?
No, they all change. Some of them are 25, some of them are 30, some of them are 35.
Okay.
So you're talking about if we were to go out and get customized signs that were 12 inches high and 12 inches wide, or you know, like a little square, you're gonna need, well, you have four machines
Yeah.
out there, you're gonna need at least 12. And because they're custom sized, they're
That's
probably
what I-
gonna be
that's what I was
expensive. Now you're gonna be
asking.
at several $100s, you know.
So you
I think what we have for what the purpose is, I think they're great. I think
Just
they're
one
ideal.
quick question. So you mentioned that Mr. Frieda was able to secure the fund. This came from a general fund, didn't come from the police department?
Didn't come from our budget.
So I drive through a lot of these, not only in this town, but other towns. And I do think the juxtaposition of the posted speed and the traveling speed is effective. I would love to see it if we could do that with these. So it's not as easy as asking the manufacturer to give us, I'm sensitive to your point about, you know, hey, these are in somebody's yard. But giving us an additional foot of height on the pole, which would allow, you know, which would push the solar panel up a foot, but it would give us more room directly above the display to put a sign.
Well,
I mean, it looks like they're pretty
they're
rudimentary.
Right, they are. And, I mean, if we were to push it up another 12 inches, actually, we're gonna need more than that.
18 inches.
You'd probably still need a custom sign, but
Yeah.
like the signs on the more southern portion of Ridge in Hamden, I don't think they are 30 inches high. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but they don't look like they're 30 inches
I
high.
mean, we can get smaller ones and tuck them underneath on the bottom, if you wanna do that.
This might be silly, but instead of making all different speed indicator signs for each street and having to make that, would it be useful or helpful at all, and maybe the company makes a sign that says flashing light means speed exceeded, and that would emphasize
Want
to
me to read that
them.
as they're driving,
You know-
besides looking at it flashing?
Well, because I
With one
go
eye?
by and
With one
I might figure out, even on my own, that the flashing light
Yeah.
means a speed exceeded, I might not know.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
Yeah.
But if you were trying to do something that
Well, you know what I can do is,
extended it.
we can get a couple custom signs, we'll put them on the bottom of it, and we'll see how it works,
That's fine. Let's try something.
you know?
Yeah, sounds good. I have a quick question. Dave, you had brought up some punch items. I just have a real quick question.
Yeah.
They were painting out there? Well, I don't remember what they were painting. On
Painting-
the outside of the
building.
building?
I mean,
This
or
one
they
looks
built-
like it's got enough
No,
room
uh,
to put something, maybe not 30
The,
inches.
Yeah.
the block
I don't know
work
what's the.
they were
but like
doing,
you said here,
what
is that what you're
the,
talking just be.
what
I
you'll
don't know, I
see
hate to
is
have
the
people looking
block
at it. I
that
kinda
was
like it up here.
I do
on
too, but I
the
don't.
addition, on the back part, the very
Yeah.
back corner of the building, the Sally Port side and the front of the building. It came from two different, it came from the same place, but it was two different,
Lots?
yeah, two different lots of stone. So they didn't match up just quite right. So to somebody that was just casually visiting the police station, they probably wouldn't have noticed it. But we noticed it, and besides noticing it, it's what you paid for. What you paid for is what you should get. And the other concern was, we didn't know, and the masons couldn't tell us, and the contractors couldn't tell us, what the outcome would be, say, 5 years from now, and how it would wear with the weather. So the decision was, look, this is what we asked for, this is what we paid for, this is what we should get. So they had to remove a good portion of that stone that was at the bottom and replace it. So most
No
of it,
cost, right?
it's no cost, no added cost to us.
Yeah.
And what they have to do is, they just have to do the mortar joints now. They just have to point those. So I think most of it's been taken care of as far as the block part. There might be a...
Saturday, they'll be cleaned up.
Yeah, yeah. So they were actually doing, they knocked it out pretty quick. They put a good crew together.
Thanks.
That's all I have. Chief, your report?
Okay, just for our little public service PSAs here, just to remind everybody, next Thursday is Halloween, and we always do like to remind everybody that in order for us to have a safe trick or treat with the kids, we ask the parents to obviously accompany small children. We want you to have your children wear properly fitted and reflective costumes. We want to have some type of flashlight or reflective, we already said reflective costumes, but use the sidewalks, cross the street at the corners. Sometimes the little people get a little excited and they just run a little wild, but you got to kind of control them. And obviously, we don't want any of the youngsters going into any strangers' homes. And wait until you get home, inspect the candy. If it doesn't, if you have any doubt at all, just throw it out, okay? And for the motorists, please slow down. I always tell people, if it's Halloween night, even if you don't see anybody, expect somebody just to dart out in front of you. So, just back it down a little bit, and everybody has a good night. Second notice is for the drug take-back. That is, the town's doing the drug take-back, and that's going to be this weekend. It's going to be Saturday. The 26th, it's 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's at the back of the fire headquarters here on Broadway. This is a good time and good opportunity to have any prescription medication in your home that you're not using to get rid of it. If Saturday is a bad day for you, we remind everybody that we do have our drop box in the lobby that is here 24/7 every day, and you can drop whatever you like in it. Well, don't drop whatever you like in it. You know, put your prescription medication in there, and there's no questions asked on our end, okay? As far as our budget, you'll see that our budget right now is, we're continuing to stay within our expectations, our self-imposed restrictions that we put on ourselves. Just to remind everyone that even though our fiscal year seems like it just started in July, we will be tasked with putting together our fiscal year 2020-2021 by the first week of December. So if there's something that you are interested in getting into our budget, if you just put that together for us by the next meeting so we can hash through that.
Quick question, I know it's a very small line item, but the water charge is running very, very high. I'm just curious what the cause of that is.
That was.
Construction related?
Some of the construction, and we had, there was a lot of washing down that went on, there was a lot of testing that went on with our water, with our fire system. So there was a lot of cost that got put into our budget here.
Okay.
But I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to, at the end, we'll be able to make some amends.
It's probably the sprinkler system also for the lawn, which is gonna be gone for the winter.
Yeah, but I think that was, I think it's just the front. That's another thing to bring up. It's a good question. The deputy and I were talking about that today. There were a lot of weeds in that lawn, and they owe us something on that, to get that taken care of, either now or it's going to have to be done in the spring. But once the spring comes, you're gonna bring in more weeds, So. One of the things I did pass out, it wasn't in your packets at all, but it is the meetings for next year. They just need to be approved by the board. It's obviously the fourth Tuesday of every month, with the exception of November, December, we move it up. So we'll have to send that over to our folks in finance, and we're over to the town clerk. Peggy, is that right? Town clerk gets that? Town clerk will need that probably by the middle of November. If we could move on that tonight, that'd be great.
We have a motion to approve the proposed meeting dates for 2020.
I'll make that motion to approve the dates as normal.
Sir, any discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Any of the major crimes, we've had a good decline this past month. Just one robbery. It was a shoplifting that turned into a robbery with some physical violence, one commercial burglary, one residential burglary. So, and the residential burglary is the suspect's a strange family member. So things for the past month were pretty good as far as that goes. No overdoses, no deaths in that way. Our support services and traffic, two issues that will likely come before the board in November. We're looking at them now just to give you a heads up. One is Old Farm Road. There is actually no established speed limit there. One of the residents had asked us to come in and consider one. Walk them through basically the process of how that would go about. Right now we have a unit up there collecting traffic data so that we can sit down with the board next month, and it's gonna be a short month because of Thanksgiving. I think we meet on the 19th, so we should have some information for you. And then obviously, if you were to concur with what we would report, then we would send it on to the state for, have a speed limit established there. And then Upper State Street, another one that we're looking at is possibly the person that recently had purchased a home, and the driveway is near the S-turn, and the driveway is in a blind spot for cars that are traveling southbound. She's gonna be looking for a sign of some sort, just to say that there's, as cars approach, that there's a blind driveway. So we'll have that for you.
So Chief, you mentioned the state. Was any correspondence sent to state about the Broadway and State Street? We talked about last month or 2 months ago. You were going to refer to the state.
That did go to the state.
Nothing yet?
No, that's, matter of fact, there was, I think there was an email exchange
Okay.
that's been kicked over to them. As we just mentioned, the solar signs there, what we'll do is we'll try to get a couple of, some small signs and have them maybe attached on the bottom part of, you know, not so much that they're 30 inches going into the ground, but maybe something that, you know, tell people what it is. And again, we are going to kind of take advantage of the warmer weather now, just to put a couple, what we would call the shoes of these into other locations in town, so we can, if we have to move these around, we can, you know. And at the same time, we're going to do that for our own parking lot, because we have a lot of bends and curves in our design out here, out front and in the back, and we want to make sure that when there's any snow removal, we minimize any damage to the parking, the parking lot itself and the curbing. We don't want to have that all banged up in the spring. Our professional standards, records, training, Officer Stevens is finished his field training. He's on his own, so that's a good thing for us. Officer Mateo is graduated from the academy. He's in his 4th week of training already, so he should be ready probably by the 2nd week of December. He should be ready to go. And our last recruit that's still in the academy, she's doing well. And then we have the building. We talked about the decorative block on the foundation already, and the mortar joints are left to be pointed. And we talked about the reflective snow post.
Is that it for punch list items? Pretty
No,
much?
no, there's a,
No?
no, we have a separate,
Okay.
you know, and we're picking at it little by little. We're getting there.
How's the lobby coming?
It's coming. The, one of the signs showed, one of the plaques showed up, but it had.
I saw it, yeah, the lead up there, the Benares.
Well, what happened with that was, in all fairness to that sign, we were under the impression that the other sign was damaged, and it wasn't. So that one's gonna get swapped out. We do have the original one.
Gotcha.
And then the other plaque that came in, the new one, there was some names that were missing, so we sent that back to them. So that'll,
Work in progress.
it's coming. The W.T. Benary Scholarship, I have no requests for this month, and the only remaining items I have would be for the executive session to discuss a few personnel matters.
Anything from you, Deputy?
Nothing.
No? Anything from the commission?
I'm good.
No? May I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn from executive session
Oh, yes, so moved,
and move into regular session?
so moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Did you have something for regular session or?
Yeah, I just had a quick, I just want to congratulate, this is a beautiful, beautiful building. And everybody did a great job, but thanks to the chief and the deputy and everybody that's involved, Peg, everybody that's involved in this building. And they just, it was a humongous task and they did a beautiful job, so.
Former deputy helped some, in the beginning too.
I will second that.
Worth recognizing him, right? Yeah, too. We've had
Okay, with that.
two
may-
consecutive great deputies. At least two.
With that, may I entertain a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
I'll second it if.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
All right.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.